facing the police every single day.
He later died. A St. Louis police officer is facing manslaughter charges in the shooting death of an off-duty officer. Prosecutors say that officers Nathaniel Hendren and Caitlin Alex were playing with guns at an apartment early Thursday morning, and according to court documents, they began passing around a revolver with only one bullet in it and pointing it at each other. Investigators say that Hendren eventually took the gun and pulled the trigger, shooting Alex in the chest. Hendren and another officer, both of whom were on duty at the time of the shooting, drove Alex to a St. Louis area hospital where she later died. The city's police chief says the incident is still under investigation.
Louisiana man faces first-degree murder charges in
City police officer now charged with manslaughter in the shooting death of a fellow officer.
Officer Caitlin Alex was off duty when she was shot and killed early Thursday morning. Fox 2's Katie Corman live tonight outside police headquarters in downtown St. Louis with the latest on the investigation. Katie.
Today, the circuit attorney charged Nathaniel Hendren in the shooting death of Caitlin Alex, both St. Louis City police officers. Police initially said this appeared to be an accidental shooting, but upon further investigation, the circuit attorney says it appears the two were playing with a revolver. St. Louis City police officer Nathaniel Hendren is charged with involuntary manslaughter and armed criminal action in the shooting death of fellow officer Caitlin Alex.
I will hold people accountable who violate Missouri law, regardless of their profession, public status, and station in life.
The probable cause statement says in the early morning hours Thursday, while on duty, 29-year-old Hendren and his partner were at Hendren's home on Dover Street in South St. Louis. 24-year-old Alex, who was off duty at the time, went to the apartment. Hendren and Alex were playing, then put one round back into the cylinder. He spun the cylinder, pointed it away, and pulled the trigger. The gun did not fire. Alex trigger. The gun did not fire. Hendren took the gun back, pointed it at Alex, and pulled the trigger. The gun fired. Told the two not to play with the guns. In a statement to the Post-Dispatch, St. Louis Public Safety Director Jimmy Edwards says the police department has been weakened by this shooting. This should never happen. We don't expect this to happen. We expect our officers to utilize their handling firearms, and unfortunately, it did not happen in this situation. Edwards says he would like to see Hendren fired. People across the city are expressing sadness over the senseless loss.
As a father, you know, with kids her age, you know, it is a tragic situation.
The circuit attorney would not say much beyond what was detailed in the probable cause statement, saying the investigation is ongoing.
The city's using all available resources to ensure that they get to the bottom of this.
Gardner says they issued an at-large warrant for Hendren, but would not specify if he was in custody, although a member of her team did say they did not believe he was any danger to the public. Involuntary manslaughter carries a sentence of 3 to 10 years. Live in downtown St. Louis, Katie Corman, Fox 2 News.
Visitation for Officer Alex will be on Tuesday from 1 to 9 at Cudis Funeral Home on Gravois. There will be a prayer service at the funeral home Wednesday morning at 9:15, followed by a 10 o'clock a.m. Mass at the Cathedral Basilica.
Yeah, all that will be part of the investigation to determine what weapon was used.
What was happening at this residence? Gathering, party, what was going on?
So all that will be a part of the investigation. So our Force Investigative Unit is handling the investigation, so all of those types of questions will be answered as part of the investigation.
Tonight, St. Louis police officers are remembering one of their own. A fellow officer shot and killed Caitlin Alex when a gun misfired. Jenna Barnes is learning just how loved she was. Jenna?
Christina, this is a department in mourning. In her 2 years on the force, Officer Alex left a lasting impact on the people she worked with. She was a good egg. Sergeant Don Ray taught her law at the police academy and asked her to be assistant class president. In a blog post, he says he chose her because she'd been in the military. Alex served as a corporal in the Army Reserve's military police. Ray says Alex sailed through the academy. She was athletic and smart and asked good questions in class. When she became an officer in 2017, she wanted to go where the action was. Ray says she understood early on, really, the human aspect of this job, and she empathized with people she saw every day who were struggling to survive, let alone live. Outside of work, Alex was a wife, a sister, a daughter, and an aunt. As Ray puts it, she squeezed more into her 24 years than many of us will into our whole lives. Another friend told me Alex was one of the funniest people he knew. No doubt he and the rest of her friends are missing that laughter tonight.
Hey Sheriff County, this is Sheriff County COPWATCH. I am using any video here under fair use if you have criticism, reporting, teaching, etc. And please donate. I do not make money from YouTube, and there are different ways to donate in the video links. Thanks.